with disabilities. And on the note of needing business to hire people with disabilities, something very significant happened in this administration. In September of 2014, what's called at the U.S. Department of Labor, the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs, or OFCCP, issued a final rule that strengthened Section 503 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Now, why does that matter? It matters because that regulation strengthened what contractors and subcontractors have to do to affirmatively recruit and hire people with disabilities. This was a very significant thing. Now, this regulation actually took effect in March of 2014, and this represents hundreds of thousands of employers in our country that are now, if we talk at kind of a high level of what this does, is it asks those federal contractors to set a utilization goal, not a quota, but they have to look at every job group and make sure that 7% of their workforce across job groups is people with disabilities. So it's jobs. Now, what's happening? What's happening as a result is I can tell you that organizations like ours, since 2013, are you ready for this? We have doubled in size. Why is it? It's because business wants to learn how to recruit and hire people with disabilities. They represent the demand. People with disabilities represent the supply. What do they want to know? They want to know businesses, we're at ground zero. Business wants to learn, where do we go to find the talent? How do we build an inclusive culture that supports people bringing their whole self to work? Because many of us, like myself, have a disability that you can't see. So creating a culture where we can be safe to say, I am a person with disability. In response to what we've heard from business wanting to be inclusive of people with disabilities, we formed an important partnership with the American Association of People with Disabilities and Helena Berger. And together we have formed the Disability Equality Index. We were inspired by what the LGBT movement has done through the Human Rights Campaign with the Corporate Equality Index to create the Disability Equality Index. And this is an index to help business get better, to help those federal contractors know what they can do to be inclusive of people with disabilities. It's a survey. They have to fill it out. It takes 40 hours. They have to answer the question, they have to substantiate the answer, and they have to demonstrate what they're doing to include people with disabilities. And you know what we've learned from this? What we've learned from this is that business is competitive and that they want to win. They want to do best, and you know what? They believe that disability provides a competitive advantage. That when they are inclusive of people with disabilities, that they are competitive and that they can be a better business. We've learned that culture trumps strategy, that they can do everything that there is, but if they're not building an inclusive culture, it doesn't matter. We've learned that there's a digital divide, that people's websites, that their intranets, that their mobile apps are not accessible, and business needs regulations to know how to make them accessible to all people. And most importantly, we've learned that business wants to include people with disabilities and that together we can make a difference.
Wow. Thank you very much, Jill. Now we'll go to